SABC News, independent and impartial.
From an African perspective.
Good morning, I'm Anne Musa. Zambia has closed its border with Tanzania following a sharp shoot in COVID-19 cases in the country. Zambia's refusal to close its borders as a mitigating factor in fight against COVID-19 is now yielding negative effects as the country has seen a surge in those testing positive to the pandemic. The countries are even still putting up measures as opposed to long-term ones, saying it fears deepening economic crisis. Arthur Davies Sikopo reports.
Zambia has today shut its borders with Tanzania following a sharp shoot in COVID-19 cases on Saturday, barely 24 hours after the country's president, Edgar Lungu, announced the highest positive cases, totaling 14, to be recorded in 24 hours. The Southern African country's record shot to a shocking 85 cases within 24 hours. And all the 85 cases recorded in one day were from a total of 500 tests carried out. And topping was Nakonde, a border town with Tanzania on the south part of that country, which had 76 positives. The sudden jump in COVID-positive cases raised serious concerns, prompting the Zambian government to temporarily close the Nakonde border for mass screening and testing. Ever since the start of the pandemic, the Zambian government has refused to close borders despite an increase in the importation of coronavirus cases. Even now, the Zambia-Tanzania border that has been closed today is only temporal, with Chitalo Chilufya, the Minister of Health, qualifying that the border cannot be shut for long because it serves as a major economic driver for the landlocked country.
The situation in Nakonde remains grave. With effect from Monday, the 11th of May 2020, the Nakonde border will be temporarily closed.
Being a border town, a number of economic activities take place, and sex work is one of them. Sex workers have not been spared as they have gladly shared the 85 with truck drivers from both countries, customs and immigration officers, clearing agents, health workers, among others. And government says despite their job being looked down upon, the sex workers have been so helpful in contact tracing of COVID-19 cases.
Commercial sex workers have been very cooperative in our investigations, and they've given us all the leads. We had a case where one of them appeared, with symptoms, told us about the client, who was a truck driver from a foreign jurisdiction, even gave us the number, and we called that truck driver, and the one who answered told us from that jurisdiction that the one we are calling is actually sick and is on O2 in the hospital. He has COVID, and we do not want to stigmatize or discriminate against them.
The Southern Africa Cross-Border Traders Association is worried that this move has come rather too late and expresses concern on the capacity for the Zambian government to deal with the current situation. Jacob Makambwe is the Secretary General of the association.
It has come a little bit late because it would have been done in the first place when we had fewer cases, because at least government was going to dedicate resources to make sure that the preparedness of anyone or the border management officials and even the health officials would have actually been put in place. Same applies to other borders like Chirundu, Kazungula.
Meanwhile, the Economics Association of Zambia, through Lubinda Habazoka, agrees with the temporal closure. Further, condemns those that have called for total closures of all borders, saying they lack knowledge of the consequences.
Well, Nakonde border is the largest contributor of customs duty to government among all other borders, and that is the major importation route for Zambia. Therefore, its indefinite closure would have serious economic damage negative effects on the country, because fuel and other essentials are imported through the Dar es Salaam port. Those that are calling for the total closure of borders have no idea about what they are talking about. Zambia is a land-based country which cannot afford to close its borders because...
Meanwhile, Zambia has continued to ease some of the strict measures put up to mitigate the spread of COVID-19 throughout the country. The Zambian President Edgar Lungu announced that schools can open on 1st June only for examination classes, while restaurants, gymnasiums and casinos reopen now, but bars remain closed. Cumulatively, Zambia stands at 267, with 117 recoveries, 143 active cases, and 7 have succumbed. Arthur Davis Scopo, reporting for Channel Africa in Lusaka, Zambia.
South Africa's COVID-19 death toll has passed the 200 mark. The Health Ministry announced 12 more people have died, bringing the total to 206. The total numbers of positive cases now sits at 10,652. This after the ministry recorded 637 in the past 24 hours. Noma Bulane reports.